All right. Good evening. Today is Monday, January 14th, 2019. Woohoo! Happy New Year. Today is, January marks 1 year of the Sweet Talk. And I'm really happy about that and thankful about that. My name is Kim Matina. I'm your host, and I am a Google certified trainer and a gold product expert in the Google for Education and CS First Help forums. And today I have William Miller from Tennessee. He's a fourth grade math and science teacher who is going to share some productive and handy Google Chrome extensions. And he's going to basically go through the whole process of what a Chrome extension is, how you manage them, how you install them. And he's just going to demo a few that he finds very helpful. And I'll let William introduce himself.
Hi, thank you so much. Yes, I am a fourth grade math and science teacher. I've taught kindergarten, also taught fifth grade, so I've had a wide variety of grade levels during my 6 years teaching. And yeah, I'm looking forward to today. Just going to talk about a couple of extensions that I find very helpful in my personal life, but also as an educator as well.
Yeah, just because, we're educators, these Chrome extensions that he's going to go over can be used in any realm, not just in education. So I'm glad that you point that out as well, because I use a lot of extensions and it's not just for education. So it's good to know a different variety of them. So go ahead, William.
Absolutely.
Take it away.
So I'm going to show you my screen just so those of you watching can kind of keep up, and I can kind of show you a little bit of everything. So first off, I do want to talk about what a Chrome extension is. A Chrome extension are just small programs, add-ons that you will see. They appear just to the right of your search bar once you have them downloaded, and they allow unique capabilities really just with one click. Most extensions will work on all web pages, whatever those pages may be, and they really give you the option and the ability to personalize your needs and preferences, whatever it is that you may be doing. So how to add an extension? Well, that's a good question. So what you might want to first do, you would just Google the Google Chrome Web Store. And what that will do is take you to the website where you can find most of the extensions. So here, the homepage will have a list of different extensions that you can choose from, some of the editor's picks, the toolkit, the Google Calendar, as you see. So from there, you can search specific extensions. So just for today, one of the extensions I'm going to talk about is OneTab. So if you search OneTab, it would pull up, and this is the one that I have, and it shows that it's already added. So if you click on it, it will also give you a detailed information on what the extension does. Now, to be able to use the extension, you would have to click right here, and it would say Add to Chrome. And once you download that, it would show up on the right, up at your toolbar. Now, once you've added that extension, you might have to select a couple of options that allow you to do certain things. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. So each extension does have its own unique capability, and the extension page here, as I mentioned, just as a brief description of what those are. So what I am going to show you first is this extension, which is OneTab, which is one of my favorites because it really helps me with different research, especially being a science teacher, doing different research topics for my students, and I would like them to have a multiple resources. Now, also web pages that ultimately I end up using throughout the day, such as what you see. And if you're like me, tabs can get very, very lengthy, and you may have a time in your day where you have multiple tabs open. And what one tab does, it will bring all of these tabs together under one list. So here, where your extensions would show up after you've downloaded them, the one tab is the one that looks like a little funnel. And once that is selected, it brings all the tabs that you had once open under a list. Now you can see where I have done this multiple times, and it saves all of them. So one thing that I find this extremely beneficial is for my students. So here down at the bottom, you can see what is a fossil, unearthing the past. These are 3 websites that I had actually found yesterday for my students to do some research. So I was able to share this page through Google Classroom with them. So it really does, for me, help me stay organized, but also helps me keep the web pages that I eventually want to come back to. And by clicking on that button, Restore All, you can have all the tabs brought back to you. The next,
I really like that feature. I didn't know that one tab offered that you can share it as a web page. That's really helpful.
So, and just to kind of keep going with that, if you do select this share as web page, it will open up in a web page with the 3 links that you have, or however many links. And here you can scan with a QR code. But what I have done, what I found works best for me, is I also have the Google Classroom extension. And once I select that extension, I can then add this web page, which is the one tab with the 3 video links to my different classrooms. And straight from here, it goes to the Google Classroom page where my students can access it. Yeah.
Now, does it add it as an assignment in Google Classroom, or what kind of post does it create?
So if we continue with there, you can add it as an assignment or as an announcement. So if I just go through, choose action, create an assignment, ask question, or make an announcement. So if I just create as an assignment, click go, I would give it a name. So fossil resources, just for as an example. And you can, of course, select the students that you would like it to go to, the different homerooms. You have your options if you want to create the assignment with the due date or the topic and assign. And after you post it to the class, if you want to make sure it actually showed up, you could even click view. It would take you to that page, and there it is.
Wow, I really like that. I didn't know that one tab offered that option. I'm gonna steal that. That's a really good workflow.
Yes, yeah, it's very nice, and I've used that throughout the year, especially with the different research topics that we've had. Excuse me, in science. So
now, do they stay saved for a certain amount of time, or is that and get deleted, or is it just an accumulative list?
What I have found is that it is accumulative. So I keep this one tab open. I very rarely close down. So it kind of adds up. But I also have another extension up here in the top right, which is called Session Buddy. Now, what Session Buddy does is it's kind of a, it just remembers your history, and it saves at different points throughout your online access. So in other words, if my computer was to completely crash right now, because I have Session Buddy open, I would be able to get all of my information back. So with that being said, I think Session Buddy is the extension that allows me to get all of these back, even if I close down Chrome completely. I hope that makes sense. Did that make sense? Yes. Okay. So what I'll do from here, I'm going to restore these tab. Well, let's see, I've got that window open. So I'll go back to this window just to kind of keep it all together. So from here, I would like to show you another Google extension that will allow you to very easily split two tabs. So you have half of the screen as one page and the other half as another page. And Kim, just so you know, I think we may have lost audio. I cannot hear you.
Oh, I'm on mute.
Oh, perfect. That answers my question. Okay. So with this extension, it is called Tab Scissors, and the picture of the extension looks like a pair of scissors. If the home, and you could very quickly search Tab Scissors. And here it is. It has the pictures. Of course, once again, when you click on it, scroll down through, it'll give you a little description of what the extension does. And for me, this has really helped me become not so much a multitasker, but better organized when I'm trying my best to have two screens open. Today, I was having to transfer data from one page to another to track the growth of some of my students. And I very easily used the scissors tab to put those two pages side by side and go from there. So what I'll do, I'll show you exactly what that is. And what it does is takes the two tabs that you have side by side, and it will split those two tabs. So if I'm on this page, well, I'll go back to this one right here. If I'm here, it's going to split these two tabs into two separate windows. So I'll click that extension. And there I have my two pages that are the exact same in size. Now, from here, you can manipulate and do different things. Obviously, if my pages were wider, they would go full screen. So this really gives you the capability to work back and forth, copy and paste different things without having to try to make sure your pages are the same. I'm sorry, without doing that yourself very quickly, one click, and it's done for you. Now, as my pages got smaller, you have noticed some of my extensions have been removed from the page. All I have to do is go here, and they're right here at the top. Okay, so that was Tab Scissors. Now, the one right next to it is Tab Glue, or Glue Tab. Now, what this extension does is the exact opposite. I've split my two pages. Now, if I'm ready to bring all of those back to the same window, I would select Tab Glue, and it brings them back. Okay, now I did have two separate windows open, so it's brought them all back to one window. Now, what we just did, I used the farthest tab on the end. If I select a tab in the middle, it will split the tabs, but it will also keep the tabs that you already have open. So if I do Tab Scissors again, and all tabs that were on the left are on the other web page. And again, a quick.
So William, before you move on, I think because the audio is a little choppy. So when you when you do Tab Scissors on a tab that's not next to the tab you want, what does it do?
Okay, so let me bring this back together. Okay, so if you are wanting to split this tab on the furthest end and maybe one back over here, if I'm answering your question correctly, what we would need to do is so we would click on the tab and drag it all the way to the end so it's next to the tab. And what we can do from there is click on the scissors, and it will split the two tabs that you want to have split. Now it splits the tab to the left of the one you have selected. So I'll go back and do that one more time. So if I'm wanting to split these two tabs, it'll split the tab on the left with the one that you have selected.
Okay, that's good. Only because I didn't hear the audio went out, and
Mhm.
I'm glad that you went over that again. Thank you.
Absolutely. So from there, I'm going to show one more that I just have for us. So if again the tab glue will bring it back together. Um, the Actually, I have two more. One of the extensions that I have found that is extremely beneficial is Checkmark, and what that does is it's a very good, an easy way for literacy teachers, English teachers, really any subject that you might have a student working in Google Docs. Make comments, generic comments, very quickly. Now, I have not used this myself, but several of my colleagues have, and they do find it very, very beneficial. So again, from the Chrome store, we would go to the home Chrome store, and you can search. And this one is called Checkmark, and it's just a simple check mark. And of course, click on it, scroll through, and it gives you a quick description on what the extension's capabilities are, what the functions are. And so from here, I did not have one prepared, but we can walk through. So if you have students working on a research document or even an essay through Google Docs, of course, they would have some information listed, and I'll just type this up. Um, Sweet Talk is amazing. And from here, it really gives you the access to make the comments. So up here on the right, it's the extension that has the check mark. And what that does, oh, it's blocking, but what that does, it pulls up all of these one letter representations, one letter options that represent comments that you can leave for your students. Um, and several of the teachers that I've worked with have memorized all of these already, and it really gives them the capability to at a quicker pace, which allows them to get more done. Because I have several colleagues that have 100+ students, and when you have 100+ essays to go through and grade and mark up and provide feedback and feedback that is going to be effective, that can be very time consuming. And I found that this tab, or I'm sorry, this extension allows them to use some of that time a little bit more efficiently and effectively. And I've also had some that have created their own custom class where they can also create and edit some of their tabs or some of their comments. Sorry.
Yeah, I think this Chrome extension is very it's easy to use, and it's very, very productive. It can really turn a teacher's workflow from extremely slow to efficiently quicker, you know?
Mhm.
So Checkmark is high, I highly recommend it as well. I'm glad that you brought that up.
Are you familiar with Checkmark?
Yeah, yep. I mean, I've used it, but I haven't used it in a while. But I did like it when I did use it. I have it installed. I just have it disabled in my list. But it's a very effective tool. And like you said, if you want to provide quality feedback, you can do all that right with Checkmark.
Yes, and that what you mentioned, having your extension disabled, kind of leads me right into the next extension and the final extension that I have to talk about, and it is called Extensity. So again, from the Chrome Web Store, a quick Google type of Chrome Web Store will bring you straight to the web page where you can download all of these extensions that I've talked about, and many, many more that can help your life become a little bit more more productive and more efficiently if you are able to find the extension that works best for you. And that's what I love about extensions is just like I want my professional development individualized, extensions allows me to individualize my browser. It lets me identify and find things that I'm going to find beneficial. So once again, just a quick search of Extensity. Yeah, let me spell that correctly. And here it is. And again, it says added because I have downloaded. Let me click on one just to show you when you do not have it downloaded. In the top right, it just says add to Chrome. And once you click that, you would click add extension. And it would show up right here to the right of your web address bar. And you can also drag your web address bar and hide some of them, or you can make it smaller to let them show. Again, just personal preference there. Now, back to Extensity, it was, let's see, right here. And again, quick description on what Extensity will allow you to do. And as you see, I have several extensions to the right of my web address bar. And what Extensity does, it's this extension here. It lists all the extensions that you may have downloaded, and it allows you to turn them on or off, which really just helps with me. It just helps me limit what is on my bar, so I don't have to make it too lengthy. But it also will shut some of the extensions off as well. And so if you wanted to shut one off, you just simply click on it and it goes, it's a little bit grayed, so now it's turned off. A simple click, now it's turned on. And again, for me, this is just one of the places that I know I can go and look for all the different extensions that I have downloaded. And as far as I can think of, those are really the ones that I use the most for me. I found that Checkmark was very beneficial. For the teachers out there, this extension right here, it's called Move It. This is one that I use in my classroom. I display my my laptop onto my smart TV that I have. And what this extension is, it's just a reminder of we need to be more active. So you can set a time interval on when you want this to pop up. And when it does pop up, it just gives you a quick tidbit, jog in place for 15 seconds, shake your right leg for 20 seconds, get up and run in place for 15 seconds. So my kids really love this because we'll just be sitting working on math. All of a sudden, something pops up and we're being active for 15, 20 seconds. And it really helps the brain flow. It kind of gets them a little bit more engaged because it breaks up maybe some of the longer times that they're having to sit, because I do have a 90-minute block. So that's another one that I would like to put out there, and it's called Move It.
I love that extension. I use it in middle school, and the kids like it. Even in middle school, they like it. They know once they see the screen, like, because what happens is a big banner comes up on your screen, and it takes up the whole entire screen, and it says Move It, and like you said, run in place for 15 seconds, and it just generates a random exercise. And some of the exercises for middle school kids, I had to adjust and modify. But it's just the point of getting them up and moving, and it's like a little brain break there. And I do find it to be productive. So I do like that extension too. I'm glad that you brought that up as well. So and Extensity is another great extension. I use it all the time also because I can turn on and off different extensions that I use. And it's just an easy way. Like if I have, I don't have to go through the menu. I can just go right there, enable it, and it's enabled immediately. I don't have to wait. I don't have to open up a new tab. I don't have to open up a new session of my browser. Everything is enabled or disabled right away. So that's a really good extension to manage your Chrome extensions.
Right.
Yeah. Well, do you would you I have actually a, a Google, I think it's a form. So what I did a few months back when I first started school was I created a Google form. I put it out on social media just to try to get um, my PLN to respond to what their favorite Chrome extensions were. And, you know, would you mind if I sent you that, if you added your Chrome extensions to that list? And I will
Absolutely.
put it in, I will put it in the show notes as well. I think I actually have, I'm pretty sure I updated the resource. I made like a list of all the Chrome extensions that people submitted into me.
Okay.
And I will share that with you, and I'll put it in the show notes as well, so people
And
can reference that.
and I also have a Google Sheet where I have I want to say close to 30 extensions listed, a quick description, and just a very actually in a link attached where you can click and go straight to the extension. So it's really just a place where I have been able to keep all the extensions that I have heard about, a quick description and easy access. So I'll share that with you as well. And if you want to add that on the show notes for everybody out there, I'd be happy to. And anything I can do to help, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it because you know what? I just you can't keep up with it all. Like, and I feel like with, especially with me, I can't speak for, you know, a lot of people, but the extensions are like you said, they're personal. So you're only using the same ones all the time. And I don't really go in and browse the web store because I already have my extensions for what I need them to do. So I'm not really up to speed on what's the newest and greatest Chrome extension out there. So that's why I try to compile a new list of extensions like every year. And I started a new job this year, and I did that in September.
Okay.
So I will share that with you. I'll put it in the show notes, and then just add the extensions, or just copy and paste from the show notes and put them in the into the form, you know,
Okay.
just so there's a running list there and we can all collaborate on them.
Yeah, and I don't mind to share with you really quickly what it looks like. I've actually had that window open too. So, is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Okay. So it is just a quick Google Sheet, and here it has a picture of the icon, so you know what to look for on the Chrome Web Store, the title, and a description, and then just the quick link that you can find. And Alice Keeler, she's great, all of her stuff, and just some others that if you read the description and find helpful, just one click away here, straight to the web store. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's a great resource. So your staff is lucky to have you, to have that resource available to them, because you know, sometimes it's overwhelming for people to go in and search and just get all these search results when they don't know what they're looking for, or they can't find what they're looking for. So to have something like that, it's just more direct. So, all right. Well, I'm going to conclude our show today. Do you have anything else to add, William?
No, just thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
No, I'm glad that you came on. I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Okay.
And all right. So I was on Twitter before. That's why my Twitter feed is there. So this month marks 1 year of the Sweet Talk, which I really can't believe. It's been a year that I've been doing this. It really exceeded my expectations. So I'm just trying to pay it forward and help other educators and other people out there use Google for Education and implement technology into their classrooms for their students. So this little show, or this little idea, has been it's been a great ride, and I'm just really thankful for everyone who comes on. So with that said, if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can go to bit.ly/The Sweet Talk channel. You can go to my website also. It's bit.ly, The Sweet Talk website. My show is also available on Podbean and Google Play Music. And if you go to my website, The Sweet Talk, and it's actually the SUITE talk. Somebody said something to me on Twitter about it being SWEET. So I actually got it. I guess I have to, stress that it's sweet, like, it's a suite, like a condo suite. But anyway, if you'd like to be a guest on my show, go to my website and go to the guest page and just fill out my guest inquiry form here, and describe the idea that you want to showcase, and I will email you back as soon as I can. You can also see past episodes of what I've done if you go to the episode page, and you can click on the YouTube link and the show notes here. So I'm trying to make my resources available on different platforms, and you can just go to the subscribe page and you can easily subscribe to my YouTube channel. I started a newsletter, so that'll go out after every show with an update of from the YouTube link and the show notes as well. And again, I'm on Podbean and Google Play Music. So with that being said, let me go back to William. All right. And with that said, that concludes our show, my show. So you did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So until next time, my next show, I don't know when, I have to check my schedule, but I will see you next time. So stay tuned to the schedule. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good night.
Absolutely. You too.